Welcome back to day 18. Today's practice is going to be helping to stretch or increase flexibility, open up the backs of the legs, and also a little bit of the lower back. There's a few options for this. So I have an optional chair, blocks are handy, and a blanket. So let's get started. We'll start today. You can start standing. If you're sitting on the floor, you can sit nice and tall, lifted on your blanket. We'll take the arms out to the side. Take a nice inhale, reach your palms overhead, and exhale, lower. As we do, add the head, raise and look up towards the hands. Exhaling, chin to chest, letting yourself arrive to your one pose practice today, letting everything else outside go. Let's take one more. Nice big breath as you draw the palms overhead, exhaling, palms together and down. All right, since I'm standing, I'm going to start with a chair. If you don't want to come to the floor, nice option, use the chair. Now I'm going to sit with it sideways so you can see me. We can use blocks if we have them, not necessary. Sitting forward the front of the seat of your chair. In this example, I'll take my right leg long with the heel on the floor, flexing the right foot and toes so they're rolled up to the ceiling, flexing back to point to my right knee. Now I want to try not to lock that knee. Let me demonstrate on the other side. So I want to try not to press that knee to the floor, hyperextending the knee. So I push a little bit more, bend the knee, push a little bit more into the heel, and that takes away that hyperextension of the knee. Now the left ankle is right under the left knee. That's your stability. I use my hands on the seat so I can sit up nice and tall, lengthening my spine, rolling the shoulders back. Now, I feel as if I'm leading with the heart. You're going to bend at the hip creases so you're rolling your hips forward. Let your spine stay nice and neutral as you allow the chest to roll forward. And I'm keeping my gaze somewhere out there between the legs in front of that right foot there. And finding a nice extended, smooth breath. When we're increasing flexibility, holding poses, we like to extend our breath about twice as long as the inhale. So I take an inhale, maybe counting to 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale out to 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As you do that, you might feel the body starting to fold forward. Now, if I really come forward, I either can take my hands on that left knee, still keep the chest open, my elbows are wide, keeping my gaze forward. It's called head to knee pose, but we really don't bring our head to our knee unless our belly is really touching our thighs. If you fold even farther, you're welcome to use the blocks. Keep the shoulders rolling back. Okay, so that's the first version of the chair, using the chair seated. Another option, if you want a little support, if our legs are really tight, we find a hard time keeping our spine nice and long. Taking my blanket, nice and folded, that smooth round edge, at just in front of my chair, giving a little bit of space. Now I have a really light chair, so I can move it forward and back. So if you can't do that, you can just adjust and move the blanket as needed. So as we did, I extended I can start with both legs under the chair, rolling the toes to face up. Again, try not to press the knees to the floor, keeping that right heel gently grounded. I lean back into my hands, pull out my left foot and anchor it into my right thigh or knee. This is okay here when you're sitting because we're not really putting any pressure on the knee there. Now, if you find that the knee is really high, you can use a block. Let me show an example on the other side. If my knee is way up high, maybe I use a block underneath it, and that helps me give something to press down to. Even if it's low, maybe you feel like you're tipping over, use the block, give a little something for that leg to press into, and then similarly, you want to get nice and elongated. So here the chair is for, as I start to draw my chest forward, maybe this is where I get, and that's great. I could bring my hands either outside the chair seat, or to get a little rest, I could get another block here and bring my forehead to rest, but I kind of like to do this one. Elbows are on the back of the chair, palms together. I let my forehead rest at the tips of my thumbs as if I'm in prayer pose. And I breathe into that. Still thinking about leading with the chest, trying to allow the hips to roll forward as I breathe into that back of that leg that I'm opening and stretching. Okay, so that's using the props of the chair. So as we come, we might then come to the floor. I'm going to sit to one end, again with that rounded edge of my blanket. I have my blocks here. And I sit a little bit to the forward edge of that roll so my hips can roll forward. So if you notice, sometimes when we're on the floor, our legs are tight, it's just natural that our spine wants to round. And that's just giving a little compression. We could ground down and sit up with our hands, but we want to try to get that nice opening leaning forward with our chest. So the lifted blanket or prop really helps to allow those hips to more easily roll forward. Now, starting with, if you're sitting on the floor, since I'm on this side of the mat, I want to be able to show you the knee onto this side. So I'm extending my left leg, left heel's on the floor, left toes pointing up to the ceiling. Bend my right knee and bring that foot in towards the thigh to touch the thigh or the knee, just as we did with the chair. Same idea, you can use the block under that knee. Gives me something to press into and almost help so I can get that nice neutral curve in my lower spine back. Again, don't hyperextend your knee and press it into the floor. Have a little bend in the knee and press that heel into the floor. If your knee crease is really high off the mat, let's show you on this side because my legs are super tight. A block is really nice under that knee. And you still get the benefit of a nice stretch in that hamstring. So use your props. Remember, props are our friends. Support your body as you start to open up. All right, let's demonstrate. I'll start with left leg long. So if you're in the chair, extend your left leg, heel on the floor, toes flex back. If you're in the chair, remember your right foot's on the floor, ankle right under your knee. Those of us on the floor, the foot is inside that left thigh or knee, and the knees out to the side, using your block if you like for that support. I like to use it. Now I want to think about that knee, bend it a little bit, a little space between the knee and the floor. Use your hands either side of your hips, whether you're on the chair or on the floor, so you can sit up nice and tall, gazing out over your left foot. Now start to bend at the hips, rolling the hips forward. Lead with the chest. And we'll pause here, inhaling for that count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale out, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep going. As the body starts to open, taking the hands wide, framing that left foot, and continuing to breathe. If you're not using the blocks under that right knee, you could use the blocks out ahead of you, but it can keep the blocks wide, trying to keep that nice neutral spine, letting the chest float forward. Still continuing to roll those hips forward. Coming back to that block under my knee. Keeping the chest nice and wide. Keep your gaze slightly out towards that left foot. Continue. It's great to hold poses where you're increasing flexibility for more than 90 seconds. So it's a good idea to start with 10 nice, smooth, extended breaths. It's just a good timing. If you can hold it longer, 2 to 5 minutes, it's really going to give you a nice flexion or increasing of our flexibility, opening up the back of the leg. Now, let's talk about where you should feel the stretch while you're holding here. If you're really flexible and coming forward, you're welcome to bring the hands forward. If you can hold your foot, still leading with the heart, trying to roll your belly towards your thighs, you're welcome to hold that left foot, but keep the gaze slightly outward, not dropping the nose to the knee yet, unless your belly is all the way on your thighs. I have incredibly tight hamstrings and calves. So this is one of my practices and goals for this lifetime, or maybe the next lifetime. I'm okay with that. All right, I was talking about where we're feeling that sense of stretch. You want to feel it between the joints, so the knee joint and the sit bone, right in the middle of the hamstring. And maybe you feel it between the knee and the ankle in the calf. That's where you would like to feel it. If you're feeling it really strongly behind the knee, bend the knee a little bit. Use that block. And then try. And then you'll feel maybe a little more in the hamstring there. That's just so we don't overstretch the back of the knee. That can get really tender. You want it in the middle of the muscle. That's what we're trying to open and lengthen. All right, walk the hands back in towards the body. You can straighten that right leg and roll the legs in and out. If you're sitting in your chair, just do a couple little seated chair marches, should I say. A couple nice smooth breaths. Let's get to the other side. So I started to roll off my blanket a little bit, so I'm scooting back. Straight right leg, bend the left knee. If you're in the chair, left foot's on the floor. Bring that left foot inside the thigh. If you're sitting on the floor, knee out to the side. Maybe I use a block under that knee. And all those same actions. Try not to press that knee into the floor. Have a little softness. Press more into the heel. Flex those right foot, toes and feet. Roll those hips forward. Press the hands down into the floor of the chair to sit up and lengthen through the top of the head. Take a nice big breath. Notice where you're feeling that stretch. Remember, in the middle of the muscle, hamstring or calf. Pause there. Start to take your nice extended breaths in for 4, out for 8, and then lead with the heart, the chest. I'm using my hands a little bit. It helps. I pause where the body wants to stop, and I breathe into that. Again, on this side, holding for at least maybe 10 breaths. You might feel a little opening as well in the back of the body. If you're really leaning forward, bring the hands, frame that right foot, keep them wide. Think of your chest, your heart leading the stretch, folding at your hip creases. Lead with the belly. And again, if you're really coming forward, walk your hands where you are comfortable, not bringing the head to the knee until your full belly is resting on your thighs. Breathe into that, holding there. Keeping those toes rolled up to the ceiling. Press through that heel. In for 4, out for 8. Bringing your awareness inwards. Again, that whole benefit of yoga is checking in when we're holding poses. Notice what we're feeling, sensations in the body, thoughts in the mind. Just an idea while we're still breathing into this. Forward folds are said to be calming. So when you fold the body towards itself together, thought to be calming, especially when you're doing that chair portion and your forehead is resting. Anytime you can rest your forehead on a block or your hands, it's also a nice calming feature. Let's try 2 more nice full breaths here. One more. Walk your hands back in towards your body, sit up tall. Let's take both legs long. Gently kind of bounce the legs, roll them in and out. Come back to either sitting up nice and tall in your chair or propped on the floor. Thank you for joining this head to knee practice today, or Janu Shirshasana, easy for me to say. Let's take our nice closing breath, arms out to the side. Take a nice inhale, palms overhead. Exhaling, palms together and down. I thank you all for joining today's practice. I'll see you tomorrow.